Welcome to the greatest show. This is episode 141. We don't have a title yet because we haven't had the show yet. You're watching it live. And if you're listening to it, it's obviously been recorded. I'm not Kevin. And that's not DJ. Got mixed up. But he's just going to be quiet there, so I'm just going to keep talking because that's what I do. Say something.
Such as?
Such as, just like the South Carolina beauty pageant, Miss America or whatever. There's a thing. Tricia's in the background. She might be on later. You may hear her. I'd turn, but I don't think she wants to be on camera right now. No. So I'll just do this. There we go. So what did you do today, Kevin?
So far, all I did today was go to the mall. That was essentially my entire day. I forgot to do laundry.
Nice. And it's so in grand bachelor fashion, you bought more clothes rather than wash any.
Well, no, it's just that So one of my pairs of jeans was absolutely destroyed because I used it for a costume that I probably should have bought a disposable, cheap pair for instead. But so I had to get a new pair of jeans.
Gotcha. Or I had to. Oh, damn it! I switched back over. Here we go.
Because I don't know if I mentioned this, but I've been going out in costume at least once a week for the entire month.
Why?
Because it's Halloween.
One day of the year.
If you can't celebrate Halloween all month long, you don't deserve Halloween.
Is that how it is?
Yes, it is.
Decorations, but I can't get up.
Do you want me to help you get up?
I don't want to get up.
Okay. Have you watched any of Stranger Things yet? Season 2?
I watched the first 3 episodes of season 1 and I just couldn't get into it.
Really? It's more than just a nostalgia fest. I mean, it's good.
I'll probably watch it eventually. It's just I've been busy watching actual horror things all month.
Wait a minute. Are you trying to say that Stranger Things is not actual horror?
I mean, it doesn't start out that way, at least.
Well, you're missing out.
Speaking of horror, though, did you notice that all 3 of the Cube movies are on Netflix right now?
No, but we love the Cube.
Yes. I watched all 3 of them the other night instead of sleeping.
I really want the guy to make the next one because I want to know more about the whole situation.
I don't think there's going to be a next one.
No! Then he needs to tell everybody what's going on because I can't live with not knowing.
Well, I mean, they wrote a script that explains everything about it, but then they trashed it because they didn't want to tell everyone.
Son of a bitch. If somebody is watching or listening to this show and you have Netflix and you have not seen any of the Cube movies, go watch them. Go watch them all. Go watch them now. Well, actually, watch them after the show because then, because you can be on live then with us.
Yeah, there's also another one that I highly suggest. It's not really a horror movie. It's kind of horror comedy. It's called The Babysitter. It's also a very good one.
We totally watched that, and it was totally awesome.
I've watched that movie 3 times since it came on Netflix.
I like the Quentin Tarantino blood.
Yeah, she likes the Quentin Tarantino blood. Yeah, The Babysitter was. I had seen it, and then she likes to watch horror movies now and then, so I figured I could totally get her to watch it right away, and I did. And yeah, I think it's a little absurd that someone that age still had a babysitter.
Well, yeah, but that was part of the plot, was that no one else does.
Yeah, I get it. Which leads to another issue, is that there is no... Where are all the normal people in movies and TV? There are no normal people. They're all obscenely hot and thin and young.
Now you know why I don't get cast as an extra.
Awkward.
Well, the thing is, normal looking people only exist in straight comedy movies, which tells you a lot about how society views people.
Yeah. It's sad. It's very sad. So I've picked out what I want to run as my RPG before the show, and now we all just need to have the time before the show to actually play the game.
What were you thinking?
Well, I'm going to use the Titan's Grave rule set. I need to replace most of the species, basically all of them except human, with the species that you'll actually be able to play. Set on the world that I'm going to set you on, and then we're ready to go. So Titan's Grave uses the Fantasy Age, so we'll be using Fantasy Age.
Okay. You know, I was considering a game eventually where human is not one of the race options. Like a world without humans.
The caveat with my non-human, so all of the races on this planet are connected. So I mean, you could all tell that they're from the same place. I mean, they're all not of the same biological makeup, but like, just as if you tested a tree on Earth, it has a DNA sequence similar enough to humans to where you could identify that it comes from Earth, just like you can identify we come from Earth.
Mm-hmm.
So there's to not use the specific terminology. I left the humans in because reasons. But other than humans, you'll be able to play, and these are not the only species on the planet that are sentient and or intelligent. So the species you'll be able to play are, for all intents and purposes, a cross between a Forest of Cheem and Groot. So an Ent, kind of. A bipedal being whose skin is all completely black and a little bit shiny, and all of their visible interior stuff is stark white. So they're kind of hard to explain. But they're a single-sexed species, that black-skinned species, and I'm talking like this kind of black. So those are two. Then you've got a crystalline biped, a bioluminescent biped, of which they will be matriarchal, which means all of the women are not only in charge, but they're the ones that get large and bulky and are muscular, while the men are weak and feeble and stay at home. There are exceptions to every rule. There's also, let's see. I've already derailed myself so many times. I'm having a hard time coming back from this. There's a feline-based race. So the tiger in biped form. Although like a tiger or a panther or whatever, you can be both bipedal or quadruped. So you can change interchangeably. Is that it?
So
I told you there was a crystalline entity.
Oh,
yes.
okay. Sorry, I wasn't listening.
So go ahead. Yes.
Yeah. So one of the my boss at work wants to start running a Shadowrun game, and that should be interesting. But I also I bought a new game last night.
Runepunk.
Yes. It's like steampunk plus high fantasy.
Okay.
Looks interesting. I really like the games that mix magic and technology well.
I'll be having a form of magic.
Oh, I was going to tell you. So there's a Kickstarter that's going on right now for a game called Pocket Lint. It was designed by a friend of mine and her game company. The base game is only $8.
Okay.
So it's a fun game. I played it at one of their playtest nights, and it's very simple and very quick to actually play the game with somebody, and I highly suggest backing it.
Have you backed anything? Oh, you backed the cat ear headphones, right?
I backed the cat ear headphones that were delivered anywhere near on time, and I backed those little phone charger cords that magnetized, to make a keyring, and they instantly broke, and then they quit actually functioning. The magnets, first, and then the cord itself. I want to say that's it for me.
Yeah, that's why I don't back any technology projects. Games projects never go very badly for me at all.
It was just an iPhone charging cord that was short, that was supposed to clasp together magnetically onto your keychain for easy storage.
Yeah, it was not great. And the only thing I've backed is Exploding Kittens by the Oatmeal.
Let's see. Things that I have backed just in the last couple of weeks. Was a couple of enamel pins that I really wanted, plus Pocket Lint, because it's a fun game and it was made by my friend, so I kind of had to.
Why is it called Pocket Lint? Why is it called Pocket Lint?
Not sure the actual reasoning for that, but
okay. I didn't know if that had something to do with something you do in the game, or if it just...
Oh, no, not really.
Okay.
Although it is a small enough game that you can carry it around in your pocket.
Nice.
Also, Cavaliers of Mars.
Is that out yet, or is that still being kickstarted?
Well, I mean, the Kickstarter is over, but it's still in development.
I would have backed Cobra, but that's not a live Kickstarter.
And then also, let's see, what else have I backed lately? More enamel pins, because I just can never seem to get enough of those.
What? Why?
I like them.
What's an enamel pen?
They're
Aha!
they're the pins that that go on. Just a sec. Let me pull one up and show it to you.
Okay. That's a good name for this show. What's an enamel pen?
Oh, thought you were going to say, let's pull it up and show it to you. Or let me pull it up and show it to you with the title.
Oh. That one would work too.
This is one of the ones that I backed.
Oh, enamel pins.
Yes.
With an I.
Oh,
Yes.
here,
I
there's
understand.
one. Show me
Yeah.
one.
Well,
Really? You can take it out of the bag.
okay. Let me take it out of the bag.
Tell them not to record.
This is her Kimuricon pin.
Nice.
Yeah.
A ghost Neko in a maid outfit.
It's a ghost Neko in a maid outfit. Because I guess Neka means cat.
Neko.
Yes.
Neka.
Neko.
Neko.
It's an O. Yes.
Yeah. Just like I said, DJ. And him.
Yeah. So I also backed a couple of games at Dice of Pirates, Purgatory House. Some good ones right now.
Normally I find out about Kickstarters after they've already closed. I don't go to Kickstarter.com on purpose because I'm afraid of what would happen and I know that she would also be afraid of what would happen, which would be a nonstop or nearly nonstop. Look what I found! I want to back it, and I just don't have the funds for that. Not if I want to retire early
Or on time.
or on time.
Right. Yeah. Retirement. That's a thing. I mean,
It is a thing.
not for me, it won't be, but
When I retire and we're on season, I don't know, 15 seasons from now, you watch. It'll be awesome. Because it's a thing.
see, I already don't expect to live long enough to retire, so I'm not too worried about that.
That happens quick.
The cat was laying on her back, so I grabbed the grabber, which we used to grab her sliver to throw it. And I started playing with her belly. She likes to play with it. Kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty. Kitty. Ah, kitty. So today I watched the Pro Chess League qualifier. As we talked about on the pre-show, your response was it sounded awful.
Yes, it does sound awful.
You have to be into chess. Now, the presentation, I mean, it wasn't quite what I was expecting, but I'm hoping that the regular season will be a lot better. And with the slower time controls during the regular season, what they played was Blitz, which is 3 minutes. What the regular season is 15-minute games. So I'm hoping that that'll be easier to go over games to see, because the speed at which the people were going over stuff was just, it was too fast for someone at my level, which is low.
I can see that.
Do you play?
I play lots of board games, but not chess now. My current board games of choice are this one.
Tortuga 1667.
Yes, it's an interesting game. Comes with an actual like cloth map. And then
I'm going to leave you highlighted there because that looked awesome. What else you got?
And then I also have this.
Go to hell, the game.
It's like a board game version of Dante's Inferno.
You know, some night, and I keep saying that I want to do this on the air. Of course, we also keep not having a cast big enough to do it. I want to play a game called Samurai. It's basically a resource allocation game, and then you have small little battles to determine who wins the area type thing. I also want to play Arkham Horror, which of course would take the entire show. A lot of I mean, we would probably have to have a little bit of a longer show for that also. And logistically, it would be difficult. We could play the casino game. What's the casino game? Vegas.
Oh, Showdown.
Vegas Showdown, which is a you basically you're constructing a casino, and the first one to construct it ends the game, but then whoever constructs it the best like gets the most points and wins. So
see, board games are not easy to play over webcam.
Well, see, the idea here, okay, not using Arkham Horror as the example here. If we were doing Vegas Showdown doesn't require that you hide anything from anybody else, I don't believe. So basically, we would set it up on, let's just say, my kitchen table, and I would have a camera pointed down directly on it at all times, and then all of our videos would be at the bottom, and hopefully that would be good enough. We'd also have to, it's fun. It's good stuff. We haven't played it in a really long time though, because it takes at least 3 players, I think.
I will be right back. I have to go put this back in my dice
Oh
bag.
my
Yeah.
Oh, I just found it on the floor by my desk. I was going through and counting my dice earlier.
Since I have located that dice app for the phone, I almost don't want to get my dice out anymore. I mean, that app is so awesome.
See, I'm getting back into collecting dice because I decided I don't have enough.
I would also collect dice, but my name is DJ and I have a problem.
Well, I mean, it's annoying because I used to have so many dice, and now I'm down to, I think my final count was 221.
Oh, no.
Well, the friend that I was telling you about, the one that designs the board games, she's got something like 4,800 dice currently.
That's ridiculous.
Not really. You gain dice much more quickly than you would think. Like last night, I bought a set of 36 D6s.
Okay.
It was only like $10.
Have a plan for where you're going.
Sure.
Okay. I had to help her up. And I was going out to get something to drink. I do love dice. I want lots of dice. I want them in all shapes and colors and swirls, and
But you also want a wife.
but I also want a wife. And my wife is preventing my collecting of dice, which is why the app is awesome. Because I can put any combination or number of dice into that and just have that there.
This is my newest set.
You froze. Oh, wait. Oh, there you go. Purple-ish.
Purple.
I have purple with sparkles. I forget how many numbers they're on them or whatever. But it was for vampire, wasn't it?
Yeah, 10-sided.
Okay.
Yeah, these ones are just a bunch of D6s.
Okay. You want to be on camera yet, or no? Okay.
Uh-oh. Of course, they're the tiny D6s.
Ah.
Because I need a bunch of them for Shadowrun.
You do. I haven't played Shadowrun in damn near 30 years.
Which edition did you play?
1.
See, we're playing 4th edition. Currently, they're up to, I think, 5th.
I can see that. See, when I played, Shadowrun was brand freaking new.
Yeah, but that's because you're old.
I am. I'm very old.
And Mom asked if I hurt myself.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go shut some lights off, and then I promise I'll sit, but she can talk to you while I'm away. Maybe.
Aside from the whole falling thing, how was KomoriCon?
It was interesting. I was there. I started on day 0 before the con actually started. They just did pre-registration the first night. My job is info booth. I don't know if you want to turn the camera, but you can. So my job. Oh, I'm still labeled here too. So there was all sorts of people in my booth saying, "Oh my God, look at that!" And they say something that I don't understand. And so then I didn't know what to look at either, because I don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
It's very busy. Lots and lots of people. Only a few, or one, I guess, that I know of incidents of creeps. Aside from that, things were going pretty smoothly. They had a make your own cat ear booth. So I made myself cat ears. They're fuzzy, like fur, pink with gray centers on a headband.
I have a friend who makes ears and tails and other accessories.
She sent me a picture of someone dressed up as Pidge from Voltron.
Yeah.
I've never seen that show.
It's on Netflix. It's awesome.
They do. Oh, there was the clown from It.
Oh my!
Just one person. Today, I think they weren't there the other 2 days, so that was kind of cool.
Pennywise was there.
Yeah, there we go. So they do a like a cosplay bingo. On the back of your info booklet, they have a bingo board, and they have it full of pictures of characters. And so your job is to take pictures of those characters, and then you bring your pictures to the programming booth, and if you have a bingo, you get prizes for them. And so there must be about 25 or so on it.
Sounds about right.
And I want to say that I actually knew who maybe 4 were. Pidge, because of him. Mario because Mario. A Final Fantasy, probably from the newest one. A guy, can't remember his name. The fairy godmother from Cinderella. I mean, that was about it. And I mean, there are things that I've seen repeatedly, like something called No Face, I think is what it is.
Yeah.
The
white face with the black curtain basically hanging off of it.
Yeah, I know who it is.
Okay, so I mean, I see it repeatedly at cons, but I have no idea of what it is. And so that was the one that I heard the reaction to the most of. How can you not know who this is? And I'm like, because I don't. But he's from whatever show it was. I'm like, don't know what that is either.
It's from a Studio Ghibli film, and it is kind of surprising just because a lot of people watched those movies when they were kids.
No idea.
Well, do you have more?
They're basically the Disney movies of anime.
Oh, okay. Well, that explains things because I didn't watch.
Disney.
I don't watch Disney movies either.
I wanted to, because it's on Netflix, promote Voltron Legendary Defender to you, because it does use kind of the old story stuff, but it is definitely retold, modernized, and it's been made awesome. Like I can't, every time a season ends, I can't wait for the next season to start. So it's super awesome.
Yeah, I haven't had much time to actually, watch any new series or anything, just because I've been so busy lately.
If someone is working for someone else and my lunch hits and I know that I haven't watched all of the Voltron, I'll sneak a Voltron in, because it's a half-hour show, which means it's somewhere between 24 minutes and an actual half hour.
I don't totally zone out when you play that one either, because I guess I like some of the humor, and of course every time Murray talks I laugh because of the voice.
Speaking of, would you watch it from the beginning with me all over again?
Oh, should have kept my mouth shut.
Yes.
No, I hate it.
You do not.
And it's got those cute little mice.
Yes, the cute little mice.
Yeah, see, lately I haven't actually been watching a lot of anything except for the horror movies, just because I'm only at home like 2 or 3 days a week.
Well, you know how Hollywood is going make a universe crazy, so that they can make movies about 70 million things and tie them all into one big franchise? I came across the other day that have you seen The Conjuring or The Conjuring 2?
No, those looked kind of lame, so I skipped them.
They're not. In The Conjuring 2, the two main people, the ghost hunters, for lack of a better term, it's just the easiest way to explain them. They have a room full of artifacts that are all haunted. The studio, after filming that movie, realized that they have an entire room full of spin-off movies available. So they're going to go ahead and start making movies about the things in that room.
Huh.
The first one being a creepy, creepy, creepy doll. Creepy. Let me say that one more time. Creepy.
Is it a creepy doll?
It's a creepy doll. I'm going to write that down as a show title possibility. Creepy doll. No, they're good. I don't know. I thought, I wouldn't want to watch them at night.
But that's the best time to watch horror movies.
I'm old and I scare easy. But it's not the gore fest. It's not like a Friday the 13th movie where half of the appeal is gallons of fake movie blood being spilled all over the place. It was very psychological.
Well, not sort of on topic, but have you ever tried an escape room?
I was going to go to one of those a little while back, but the friends that I was going to go with canceled on me, so I haven't actually done that yet.
They had an escape room at Couick, and you needed 10 people at a time. So I thought that was a pretty large number. But then again, I've never been in one myself. So it was very popular. They had it available all three, well, Friday, Saturday, and tomorrow. And I believe everything was already filled by last night. All the time slots. So
that's not surprising. It's a pretty popular thing.
Yeah, I know that there are escape rooms that I believe take place year-round in Portland, and I'd really like to do them, or try one at least. But I've been told that you should have at least 4 people. So
yeah, it's much harder to do it with fewer people.
Yeah. So and the problem is finding 2 more people.
Yeah, because we don't. Well, now we could have John and his wife join us.
True. Yeah, that's very true. I mean, I would invite my brother and Mary, and I would just hope that my brother would be into it, because I know Mary would be all gung ho. But
so when we invite John and his wife, we can invite Mary, and that way we'll have everybody gung ho.
Don't leave my poor brother at home.
Well, he's a party pooper sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really popular. Oh, there was sake tasting tonight. And I guess a person talking about it, a sommelier, was there. And
have you had sake?
I have. I do not like it, but I don't like most kinds of alcohol.
Did you have it warm?
No.
Oh, well, then that's why you didn't like it.
Or it could be because it's alcohol and I hate alcohol.
Well, it's not like it. I mean, peppermint schnapps is alcohol, but it tastes like a really strong peppermint candy. I mean, it's...
Even that, I usually have to mix with ginger ale to make it even kind of okay.
There's different kinds of sake, but if you don't have it warm, like if it's not been heated, then it doesn't taste as good.
That's what I was told about spiced wine, too. Turns out it's awful no matter what temperature it is.
And I don't like wine in general, so I mean, yeah.
And another thing Couick had this year that was new was a what was it called? Like Ghost Neko Maid Cafe or something. Let me check this out. Let me look it up in the schedule here. Oh, Ghost Neko's Paranormal Maid Cafe. They were doing these sessions where they had it said that you'd register, and I don't know how many people. I think they put 9 people at a table or something. Each table had a dedicated maid or butler, and there would be games, prizes, live entertainment, and personal service. And then, of course, in addition to that, they actually served food. There were a whole lot of people really interested in that, too.
Yeah, maid cafes are really popular in the US, less so in Japan where they originated.
Okay.
But then again, just about every Japanese export is more popular in the US than it is in Japan.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it does say here, each session combines a sampling of a Japanese-made cafe experience with the community of an American convention.
Of course, it's kind of like how Chinese food isn't actually Chinese food. It's
Right.
what Americans think Chinese food is.
Yes. And Chinese food is actually two completely different styles of food, because the Northerners eat differently than the Southerners because of how differently the countryside was to farm.
Yeah, see, here we actually do have an actual authentic Chinese restaurant in Eugene, which is run by first-generation immigrants from China. Completely different cuisine than what most Americans think of as Chinese food.
So it's not a buffet style where everything is deep fried?
No.
Oh, God, no. I've never gone to those kinds of restaurants in the first place.
That was the only kind we had in North Dakota.
Yeah, North Dakota was pretty limited.
I've always hated buffets. I do not like going to them.
I like buffets. I mean, I don't mind eating at the buffets, but I always feel that I don't eat the amount of money that I pay to be at the buffet. So it's like, it's a challenge to me to eat as much as humanly possible, but I never feel like I accomplished that goal.
See, I just find buffets to be incredibly gross.
Well, you're wrong. I mean, and you're entitled to be wrong.
It's not the most sanitary situation to be eating in.
Well, I've never gotten food poisoning from a buffet. I have gotten food poisoning from other restaurants. But I get what you're saying. I totally agree.
I've had food poisoning twice in my life. One of them was because of a buffet. The other was because there's this pizza place in Veneta that tried to murder me and all my coworkers.
Only twice? Lightweight? I've had food poisoning 7 times. 7.
Maybe you should pay better attention to what you're eating.
It's always been a completely out of the blue, unexpected source of and it's never been the same place twice, or the same food twice.
Well, you and I had that food poisoning from a Burger King in North Dakota.
I think that was like 5th or 6th for me there.
That was my first time ever. And then my second time was the day after we moved to Portland. And it was from eating at Red Robin near at the Cascade
Station.
Cascade Station. Couldn't think of the second word. The day that we moved here, the day we got here.
Well, that means that my Burger King experience was my 7th time. Food poisoning 6 times in the Navy? Holy crap.
Yeah, I don't think you've had it more than that one time with me that I've been around. So
or maybe I'm adding one by accident. Maybe it is only 6. It's been so many times. It's more than a handful.
So what I'm hearing is that you've made much better choices since I've been around.
Yeah. I've also lost a lot of weight since you've been around.
Well, and gained it.
But I'm losing it again. My foot's normal, so I can do my normal job now. It's very exciting.
See, I am so glad that I don't end up injuring myself the way that you do.
Falling off of a tiny step by accident and feeling embarrassed that you injured yourself at all, falling off such a tiny little object.
Yeah. Also, if I hurt my foot, then I wouldn't be able to go dancing anymore. And that's one of the few things that I do every week. Yeah,
you were going to tell me about dancing.
Oh, right. So like about a month ago, I started going to a blues fusion thing every Thursday with one of my friends from work. It's fun.
What type of dancing do you do, or is it just the get out onto the floor and move type thing?
It's blues fusion. That's the dancing style.
Okay.
It's like similar to ballroom dancing / tango.
Aha! That's descriptive, because just saying the same thing over again, which I've learned doing myself, is not explaining anything to anybody. It's just saying the same thing over again. Well,
see, I thought that you thought that I was talking about music.
Well, initially I did, and then you said that, and then I didn't know what the hell you were talking about. What kind of dance it would have been, because I don't know how blues fusion is before just then.
But yes, dancing is fun, and I am not very good at it.
Well, we all have to suck at something. Mine is doing housework.
Yeah, it is.
So while someone was away this weekend, she kept repeating over and over that I shouldn't just sit around and do nothing. Well, the only
I said a lot more than that, but sure.
There was a lot more, but I had no intention of doing nothing but sitting around the whole time. So I was going to get all kinds of stuff done. Yesterday, I like whipped up half the main room here was cleaned out, and then I was going to do the kitchen and the laundry, fold the laundry today. I kind of straightened up the kitchen a little bit, ran the dishwasher, and put the laundry away. And I really didn't have the drive today, and I don't know what it was. It just, But maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow I have to get rid of my bed. I keep forgetting to do that.
What are you going to sleep on?
I got a futon.
Oh.
Futons are so much more comfortable than beds.
For sleeping?
Yes.
Okay.
Also napping. It is so much easier to fall asleep on something shaped like a couch than it is on a regular bed.
I disagree.
So, okay. So I looked up the blues fusion dancing on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like you to look at a video by OK Go. Their song is called Skyscrapers. Because watching the video of the dance, it really reminds me of that video. So maybe it's not exactly the same thing, of course, but it seems very similar to me.
While you were looking that up, I will vamp for you, and I will mention that today I noticed clicks started happening from Fear the Boot. Dan, who was on 3 weeks ago? I think it was 3 weeks ago. Finally put out an episode that linked both the video and the audio to from my site and YouTube. So I noticed that the video that he is in got a lot of hits, more hits than normal, as being this early in the game. The audio hasn't so much seen an increase yet. Actually, I probably should check the server, because I guess I just looked for clicks. Maybe I should be looking for like downloads instead. But that we should see some extra traffic from that, which would be nice. And I haven't heard back from anyone whom I've contacted about being on the show. The most disappointing thing is Paul Abrahamian. His agent guy was very interested in having him on, and I have now sent them 3 emails with 0 response. Yeah, so basically as soon as he got off the show, it was over, which is a little disturbing, but I gotta go through and start lining up other guests, because we have no guests on the horizon, which is a little sad.
Yeah.
So what did you find the video, and do you think it's blues fusion-ish?
I mean, not from what I've seen the last month or so.
Okay.
It's more like that video is a more elaborate dance style.
Okay. I mean, I'm sure when you see professionals do something compared to,
Yeah, it could just be the difference between
that and your mortals.
Yeah, when you have people who dance for a living, it's very different dancing styles than people who are just doing it for fun.
Right. Well, and who knows what, when I look up a video on YouTube to see what you're talking about, maybe they're more polished as well, which is what reminded me of the OK Go video.
Yeah, although you do run into a lot of different styles. Like, I think I've identified something like 11 different styles of dancing between all of the people that I've watched because I don't participate very much.
At KimuraCon, they do a prom, and then they do this year they're also doing a ball, and I don't know what the difference is between the two for them. And they give dance lessons at KimuraCon. They must have been teaching at least a dozen different dance steps. I thought that was pretty neat. I mean, that's certainly something I never would have seen, ever in my life.
Since she mentioned the phrase "mere mortals," did you hear that Zachary Levi is going to be Shazam in the movie?
I don't know who that is.
You don't know who Shazam is or who Zachary Levi is?
Oh, wait.
Yes.
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 That's an answer I would give.
Zachary Levi was Chuck from Chuck.
Oh, okay.
He's also the blonde guy in Thor: Dark World that jumps off the... I don't know what that guy's name is.
I haven't seen that movie either.
Okay. Well, he's going to play Shazam, who used to be called Captain Marvel, but can't be called Captain Marvel because Marvel owns the rights to Captain Marvel, so they're calling him Shazam now.
Ah, I thought it was just because everyone kept forgetting the name anyways.
No. Plus, it would get really confusing to have two Captain Marvel movies out, one from each of the two comic book companies. But anyway, Zachary Levi is going to play the Shazam character, like the main... that whom Billy Batson changes into.
Now, what about Brie Larson? What is she?
She is playing Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers from Marvel.
Will they be in a movie together?
No.
Okay, so I don't feel bad for not being able to keep these things straight.
They're calling him Shazam because they can't call him Captain Marvel.
But they're coming out with two Captain Marvel movies at the same time. One Captain Marvel and one Shazam.
They're not going to call Shazam Captain Marvel, but yes. He used to
It's two different comic book companies that both have characters that have the same name.
Why?
Because there are only so many superhero names that don't sound stupid.
Go get me the Arnica stuff.
I don't know what Arnica stuff is.
It's behind the bathroom door and the shelf on the wall.
Oh boy, I gotta get some Arnica stuff.
On top of your orange toothpaste.
And unfortunately, Captain Marvel is a superhero name that sounds stupid, but they did it anyways.
For the audio listeners, I just gave him the finger. Captain Marvel doesn't sound stupid. Captain Marvel Jr. does.
Captain Marvel Jr.
So any character that has to say Shazam to turn into their superhero alter ego is stupid.
What about something I have the power? Is that one stupid too?
Yes.
Okay. Just ooh. I just wanted to double check.
Basically, any superhero that has to say a command phrase in order to turn into their superhero persona, kind of lame.
So you're saying that at one point, the most popular superhero in the nation, Captain Marvel, who says Shazam, is lame.
Yes.
What if the guy sitting beside Captain Marvel says Shazam? Does he change then still? Like, because he heard it?
I don't think it works that way.
What if, like, he points at him and says Shazam?
I don't think it works that way. By the power of Grey Skull.
Also stupid.
No, it's He-Man.
That's what I couldn't remember all of it. I could only think of a little bit of that phrase.
By the power of Grey Skull. The best movie that was ever uttered in is Hot Fuzz.
It's like in Naruto where they, anytime that someone uses one of their special attacks or whatever, they call out the name of that attack as they're doing it. It's like, that is not how ninjas work.
Not really. I mean, normally if you've seen the ninja, you're already dead.
Like, never call your attack before you make, like, do you ever see martial artists telling each other that they're about to punch them in the face? Like,
no, but
it's just bad fighting style.
Dan from Fear the Boot told us about One Punch Man, and I'm pretty sure we're going to give her a shot.
I saw him so many times this weekend. I swear one guy shaved his head just to be that guy.
Yeah, a lot of people. It's a good anime, but it's more popular than it deserves to be.
I want to make sure that I'm like thinking of the right person before I say, yep, that's the one. Yeah. I had been, I think it was not last year, but 2015? I don't know what year it was. Anyway, I volunteered for NewCon, and there were a whole bunch of people telling me, oh, you don't watch anime? You should try blah, blah, blah. They'd each tell me something. And One Punch Man was one of them that came up multiple times. And from their enthusiasm compared to Dan's explanation, his actually made me more interested, I guess, in it because of the like the reluctance of this guy and his, I guess his disinterest in what he was, or the fact that everything was so easy, like he wasn't interested in things. I don't know. His description made it sound much more interesting to me. But I know that there's a lot of things out there that are very short seasons and for some reason have gigantic cult followings, like
Strain Strategic Armored Infantry.
Well, no, I mean like anything, like not just that stuff. No, I was going to say like Firefly, or like Twin Peaks that we've never seen, or just or I mean the Beatles, for God's sake. Yeah. They were only really a band for 6 years, and it's like they've lived for decades, those types of things. So
and Firefly is genuinely terrible.
I disagree.
You can disagree all you want. It doesn't change the fact that it's genuinely terrible. The movie's great, but the series is awful.
Did you ever get around to watching Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
Nope.
You need to do that.
Nope.
You need to do that like immediately.
Oh, no. No, thank you.
It's got Neil Patrick Harris.
I know, but there's singing in it.
You're a loser.
I really have a hard time watching things that have singing in it. I think that's most of the reason why I hate Disney movies.
You're a towel.
Yeah, that's a great comeback.
I know. Here's a guy that made a reference to South Park.
Why doesn't anyone ever cosplay South Park?
Hard to do?
Winter hats and jackets.
Well, they don't have to be. They can be made out of thin cloth. There was like Avatar and what's her face, the new one, and that line. There was an older guy and his wife there, and the guy was cosplaying, and he was just basically jumping between all of the old men with gray beard roles by changing his outfit. Because I had seen him twice, and both times I saw him, he was different characters. The one time he had a teapot, and I think he was in green.
That would be Uncle Iroh.
Okay, that was the first time I saw him.
I could be Uncle Iroh.
And then the next time I saw him, I want to say there was blue clothing. He had this kind of ponytail thing on his head, and his beard was like sticking out to the sides and then down.
I feel like I know that one, but I never actually watched that series, so.
Okay. If it's blue, I'm guessing water bending, some character to do with the water tribe. I'm just guessing, but
yeah, see, I only know Uncle Iroh because I've seen a lot of memes regarding the show, but I've never actually watched it.
We've watched it. I just completely draw a blank on everything. Well, but he had that, like his hair was sticking up on top.
Sticking up.
Not kind of like a top knot in a way, but more upright.
Let's see here. Tail. Anime. That's right, anime. Why is it when I search for gray beard ponytail in anime, I get like models?
Because anime.
No, like let me show you. Like, why does this dude show up when I put anime in?
Let's see here.
Okay, yeah, that one I'm lost on.
Yeah, I got a whole bunch of guys with gray beards, and then the anime starts. It's.
I'm just gonna say it's because you own an iPhone instead of a superior Android.
I've never had a good experience with an Android.
I have not either. And it continues through this weekend where nobody with an Android could get the guidebook app to work or find anything on the guidebook app. It was awful.
I don't think it was a Airbender thing.
And I think you're wrong.
Well, I guess then all three of us have now told somebody else that they're wrong.
It was like this sort of thing on top of his head?
Yeah.
Okay. But I don't know, maybe I have the color wrong or something. I thought that he said that he always does Avatar characters.
Maybe there's somebody in the Korra that.
Yeah, probably. I couldn't think of her name.
Korra.
Does it have two R's?
Yes. Oh, it'll correct you if you spell it wrong. So we've been on for an hour, and I feel like we've washed through everything that we could possibly talk about.
Here, Iroh. Wait, that's not who we already talked about,
That's
is it?
the teapot.
Yes.
That is the teapot.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Uncle Iroh.
So have you guys considered visiting Eugene for Yukon?
When is it?
It is next month.
Let's see. I've never actually paid to go to a con. Let's see what we got going here. November 11th and 12th. Veterans Day is a Saturday.
Oh.
And then a Sunday. What else have we got here? Special guests. Sons of Anarchy. Oh, Sherilyn Fenn. She was supposed to be here for a con one time and she didn't make it. To one I volunteered at.
Well, let me look at the all the guests because the
Booker T.
Yeah, he doesn't excite me.
Oh, okay. I just saw wrestling.
Yeah.
James Marshall.
Oh, if Paige from the WWE would have been there, I would have gone.
Wow, there's a lot of Twin Peaks coming.
It's a biker gang leaving.
It's the Caribbean. Unable to attend. Unable to attend.
I can't say that there's like a large amount of reason that I feel I need to be down there, but
Well, I mean, the good news is that we're not going there to see any celebrities, so we could enjoy other things.
yeah, that's true. We can hang out with Kevin too,
Optimus Prime is going to be there,
and we can go down and back in one day.
and Michael Keaton's Batman costume.
Yep.
Nintendo car? Why is there a Nintendo car?
I don't know.
UConn is only on its 3rd year right now, so.
Oh.
So let's. Oh boy.
Supernatural cars. All right, the Impala is going to be there. And an AMC Gremlin? That's going to be butt ugly.
I'm willing to come down on the 11th.
Isn't there an Impala at like every con now, though?
There's been
The car from
maybe,
Supernatural.
Yeah, because there's multiple versions of it. Or I should not say versions. I should say copies, I guess. I know that Wizard World has one, but I can't say that like Rose City doesn't have one. I think the only time I've seen it is with Wizard World.
So yes, we don't have a show scheduled on November 11th, and I should have the day off because it's Veterans Day, and the post office doesn't work then. So I'm going to drive the bunny-eared one here, or the cat-eared one here, down to UConn. We're going to attend and see you and say hi, and then we'll drive back that night.
Cool.
And I don't want to see the Impala because it's on Supernatural. I want to see the Impala because it's an Impala. I do not care about the TV show.
Yeah, like everybody at the con when they were here wanted to see the weapons in the trunk, and she wanted to see what's under the hood.
Yep.
Yeah, so I convinced a couple of my friends to go this year with me, so it should be interesting because I went with a friend last year, and then the year before that, I went with a couple of friends. So I'm trying to get an actual group together again.
Oh, shoot. Only active duty military is free.
Boo!
I love how they want active duty military to get free tickets to things, but shouldn't you be doing military crap if you're active duty?
Yeah.
Not attending cons on weekends?
You should, actually. But
do we even have any military bases in this area? Why would there be any active duty military in this part of Oregon?
Do they consider like recruiters to be active duty?
They are active duty.
Okay, so there's one answer. Yeah, I don't know. We have lots in North Dakota. We have all kinds of nuclear weapons there too.
Well, that's because there's nothing else in North Dakota.
Nope. Just a lot of nukes. I've talked to two.
If not, well, I was just gonna say it's because if something goes wrong and they all go off, no one will care.
True.
There is an Air Force base in Klamath Falls. Other than that, there's a bunch of reserve locations. There's a base in Crater Lake, which is Klamath Falls. There's an armory, which everybody that's at the armory will be active duty. Actually, there's multiple armories. Most of it is reserve and such. Yeah. Wow. Okay. So there may be enough in the area to entice them to leave their whatever to go to these things. Who knows? That's it. I think we're done.
Well, that was a short one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't enticed. It wasn't enticing. I mean, when I created the 2-hour limit, it was a limit, not necessarily a goal. It had to always be. Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen each other in a while, so I mean, we did have stuff to talk about. But rather than be quiet for long sums of time, we'll just kill her about 45 minutes early here.
Yeah. Too bad nobody else showed up.
Yeah. Well, Metal said he was going to, but I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah, typically if it goes for a full hour and no one new shows up.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Peter, the other podcaster in town that I work with, he showed up like for a 15-20 minute chunk at a very end of a show one time, but I think we were running super long back then yet till. So anywho, for the viewers and the listeners, we will let you go. Kevin will stay on and we can talk with long periods of silence, and I can eat the other cookie that I want to eat. And we'll see you, I believe it's, well, I should check, but I'm pretty sure it's next week. Oops, wrong button. I hit the wrong button. It is next week, November 4th. We will see you next week. Say goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Goodbye.